feels great. I'm very excited about it. A lot of our staff's coming back that was here before, and we're just looking to get going at this point. We've been talking about it. Now it's time to get out there and start getting our new schemes involved that we plan to put in, get those started amongst the coaches, and really sitting down with them and finalizing everything, getting ready for the spring and the summer.
You coached with Jim Green for a long time. Jimmy is a Kittatinny guy through and through. He played here. He's coached here in some shape or form since 1983. Just talk about your relationship with Jim and what you learned from him and what you're going to bring to the table with that.
Well, I met Jimmy probably 17 years ago when I was involved in the feeder program. I coached his older son, Steven. Jimmy's a great guy. Jimmy gave me the opportunity to come here. I never got the opportunity to be a coach at Kittatinny if it wasn't for Jimmy. So I have all the respect in the world for him. He's done a great job here in the 21 years as head coach. I think 30 years in the program. Won some big games. Won a championship in 07. So I've learned a lot from him. I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm sure a lot of the things I've learned from him will carry through, in the coming years.
Obviously, you've been coaching a long time here as an assistant. What else is your coaching background? You said you coach youth. Did you play in high school, college? Just give us a little background on your football.
I played all through, my younger years of midget football and that. Played a few years of high school football. Coached in the feeder program before coming here, and really got my start at the feeder program. By going to clinics with Jimmy, even when I was involved in the feeder program, coming to the high school, listening to Jimmy, putting his schemes in at that level, and so that's where I really got my start from.
How important is it that you're part of the Kittatinny community? As you said, you coached on the youth level, so you know all these kids.
Yeah, I think one of the easy things about taking over is that I know a lot of the kids. I've been around the community for 25 years, lived in the community for 25 years, and I know a lot of the kids not only that are on the team now, but are coming up through the program. I've seen their older brothers play. So in that respect, it's easy. The hard side of it, obviously, is you don't replace somebody who's been around 21 years. You just kind of hopefully can pick up where they left off. But I'm not here to replace Jimmy. I'm just a new coach. That's all.
Now, one of the hallmarks of Jimmy Green over the years, he always adapted to the talent that he had. Do you have a certain scheme or philosophy that you want to implement, or is it going to be based like what Jimmy did, who he had?
Yeah, no, we're going to do some things a little bit differently. Obviously, when you lose a Garrett Armstrong and a Dylan Wonder and kids like that, you don't have those kids to replace them. You come up with a different scheme. We have some great kids, some great skilled kids, and all our kids are really nice kids. So I'm looking forward to putting in a few different schemes, which will help the kids that we have here, and I think we'll be okay.
And a lot of the staff going to be staying that were coaching with Jimmy for a long time. You had some great guys like Ed Mabel and Jeff Gelly and Kevin Healy. Just talk about how you taking over, it keeps that stability of the Kittatinny program.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, I obviously wouldn't have taken this job if I couldn't reach out to those guys and make sure they were going to be here and stay in the program and support what we're trying to get done here. So having Ed Mabel, 40 years of coaching, Kevin Healy, 30 years of coaching, Bobby Kiley's coming back, 22, 23 years of coaching, Jeff Gelly's been here 10 or 11 years, I'm here 15. So it's going to be comfortable having those guys around, know the system, and they also know the players. So that'll make things a lot easier for us. We'll have a few new faces probably coming on the staff, over the summer. But yeah, it's going to be great to have those guys back and be able to lean on them. I mean, every one of those guys are capable of being a head coach themselves. So, I feel very fortunate to have all of them here with me.
He's taking over the program. Kittatinny now in a new division. They did the realignment with the NJAC, so you're going to be seeing new teams. What kind of a challenge is that going to present?
It's going to be a challenge as far as some of these teams we don't know anything about. So we're going to have to do a lot of work in the summer to see what we can find out about them. Obviously, we're going to play Lenape still in a crossover game, Opacon. So those teams we know a little bit more about. Newton, obviously a rivalry, has been around for a long time. But yeah, it'll be a challenge to play the Pequannox and the Whippany Parks and the Kinnelons that aren't as familiar to us as some of the teams we've played in the past. So.
And just talk about the big goal, the big picture here for Kittatinny football. Jim Green laid the foundation for 21 years as the head guy, and what are you hoping to do?
I hope we can pick up where Jimmy left off and maybe take it to a higher level. Obviously, he made the state playoff many a times, won some big games. Obviously we got hurt pretty hard by graduation. We lost 9 starters on offense, I think 8 on defense. So it's really going to come down to how fast our younger kids can adapt, get into those spots, and get comfortable playing at the varsity level and picking up our new scheme. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge that I'm looking forward to, and so is the staff. We're excited to get started, and we'll see what happens.